All right, let's have a go at recording. Okay, so we are recording now, so we've just missed out on the first few minutes, unfortunately, but we can always go back and record that and splice it together later. A campaign is the top level organisational structure inside a Google Ads account. A campaign can have a schedule attached to it, it can have a budget attached to it, it can have negative keywords attached to it, it can have it might be focused on a particular service that you offer. It might be focused on a particular type of conversion. So in our coin shop, for example, we have two campaigns. One's focused on targeting customers that want to sell things, and one's focused on customers that want to buy things. I've worked with a dentist. He has two main campaigns. One is weekday ads, and the other one is only runs on weekends, and that's targeted at the 7-day dentist market. Okay, so basically a campaign is a top level structure, and it contains a group of ad groups. Now what's an ad group? An ad group is a group of ads. And the key thing to understand about ad groups is that this is where you target your keywords. So the keywords are what triggers the display of your ads. If someone does a Google search and it matches your keywords and your bid is enough, then one of your ads from that ad group will be displayed. And ads, obviously what sits inside each ad group. There's an idea of ad quality in Google Ads, and there's three things that drive ad quality. Now, why do you want ad quality? Ad quality basically gives you more bang for your buck. It means that if your ad quality is excellent, your bid actually counts for a little bit more than people whose ad quality is not so good. Okay, what are the three things that you need to do to get great ad quality? You need to ideally match your keyword targeting with real search behavior. Okay, so that means, you might think, well, I'll just target some really broad generic keywords that'll bring in lots of searches. And you're right, it will, but you're not matching that search behavior very well. The next factor is making sure that the ad copy that you write, and the ad copy is basically the words, matches the search behavior as well. So you want to display ads that are contextually relevant to the searches that people are conducting. Okay, if you're targeting blue running shoes, then show them an ad about blue running shoes. Don't just show them a generic ad about running shoes or an ad about red running shoes or whatever that happens to be. The third factor, and this is where Google does care about what you do with your traffic, is that the landing page, and the landing page is basically the web page where you send your traffic to, that the landing page is relevant to the search behavior that the person exhibits. So if we take our running shoe example, you probably don't want to, there's a couple of reasons why you don't want to, but you probably don't want to send them to sort of the home page of a sports shop. You want to send them to the running shoe category, all right? Or ideally the women's running shoe category if you're trying to trigger off of women's running shoes. So that relevancy between what you're advertising for, what you're targeting, and where you're sending the traffic has to run through from the initial search right through to the landing page where the person ends up. Okay, and this is what helps you maximize your ad quality. This is the steps for creating a campaign. Don't worry about noting any of that down. You'll get a copy of the presentation. Now, when I do these sorts of things, I usually like to pick someone who's signed up and use their business as an example. And unfortunately, the person I've picked hasn't shown up, so they miss out. But basically what I have done is there was a newborn photographer signed up for the workshop. So I've sort of crafted this whole example around what they were doing. So apologies if it's not 100% relevant to you, but the principles still apply. So this is Google Ads. This is the main Google Ads interface. If you're just setting up your Google Ads account, you'll probably be shown what's called the Smart Campaign interface. I strongly recommend that you get out of that as soon as you can and get into this interface, because this will give you the greater level of targeting that you really need to make your Google Ads perform well. So creating a creating a campaign is a matter of, we're on a campaign screen here. We're going to hit the plus button and we're going to create a new campaign. If I go too fast, feel free to interrupt and get me to show something again. So we've created a new campaign, and here's our
How do you swap, Mark?
How
do you swap from the smart one to this one?
I would have to actually switch back to the smart campaign interface and remind myself of how to do that, because it's the first thing I usually do when I'm setting up a new ad account. Probably Google is your friend there, if you can't wait for me to get back to you, Deborah. So, all right. It's something to do with the 3-line menu up at the top left-hand side. I can remember that. Anyway, so we've created a new campaign. And here's our objectives here. You can see, you know, I mentioned some of these. And why do you want to pick one of these? It's because it gives you a framework within which to work when you're setting up your campaign from scratch. You don't have to pick one of these. You can just create one without guidance. But in this case, we're going to pick a website traffic campaign. Now, this gives us now a selection of where on Google's publishing network we want to appear. And you remember I talked about search, content, and shopping. There's a few other choices there, video and discovery. In our case, we're going to focus on search in this workshop because it's just the thing that most people use. It's also the easiest to get your head around. So we're going to click on search and select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. So we're going to put a fake website in here because I didn't want to embarrass the person by using their actual website. And it'll probably complain about that, but that's okay. You'll want to put your website in here. Now, why do you want to do that? It's because while you're setting up this account, Google actually goes away and looks at your website and starts getting information about your website so it can give you keyword suggestions later in the process. Right, so now we're into the general settings. We're going to name our campaign here to workshop campaign. So it's trying to allow us, it's trying to get us to publish ads on the search network and the content network. Now, the reason why I keep saying stick to the search network is because the content network is a lot harder to optimize. Okay, it's also a way that you can burn through your budget really quickly on the content network. So as you're getting started, stick with the search network. So we'll just uncheck that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to target a specific location. For some businesses, their location might be worldwide, it might be Australia-wide. For local businesses like mine, we target Adelaide as a city. You can actually now in Google Ads target postcodes. So if you are a very localized business, perhaps a cafe, you might actually compile a list of postcodes that are nearby you that you want to try and get foot traffic from. Now, in our case, what we're going to do is just target Adelaide, South Australia. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, now I've just moved it back to Australia. We can just use the prompt here, or we can type in postcode. So we can put in 5,000. It's not going to work. There we go. So, you know, we can just do something like that. All right, or 5075. Okay, so we can target by postcode if we want, but in our case, what we're going to do is we're just going to target Adelaide because I'm a photographer that is happy to travel all over Adelaide. Now, for a lot of people, that's all the targeting that they do, but Google Ads is a lot more powerful than that. The way you should be thinking about Google Ads is, how do I put myself into the shoes of people who are potentially interested in my product? Now, location is one of those. Demographics might be another one of those, but Google gets even finer grained than that. You can actually start targeting people based on their current buying interests, on their lifestyle, on life events, and all sorts of things. Now, in the case of our newborn baby photographer, we're going to be targeting people that are interested in buying children's products and people that are mothers. Okay, we're going to try targeting those two things. So this is down here buried under audiences. Now it's going to probably pre-fill this because I've run through this thing a few times here. Targeting those two things, periods of inference 0 to 1, in-market audiences. Now what does in-market audience mean? That means that Google will show ads to people that are currently interested in buying babies or children's products. Now, how do they know that? They know that from the websites that you go to, from the searches that you enter. Okay, they know these things about you. They're following you around. They're tracking your data. They're tracking your movements. They know what you're doing and what you're interested in. So, you know, I suspect that right now, because I've been looking at babies and children's websites, I'm probably in this market. Okay, Google has put me in this market. So potentially, yeah, no, that's right, Kat, Skynet, indeed. And it's not just Google, Facebook is doing a very similar thing, as are lots of other networks. So, you know, it's not an unusual thing. So this audience building tool here is a fantastic tool. You don't have to build the audiences directly in here. There's this thing called the Audience Manager, and you can go off there and build audiences independent of having to create new campaigns. And that's a great thing to do, to sit there and play with the Audience Manager and try and work out, you know, what sorts of things, what sorts of groups of people are going to be interested in your products. So in our case, we're just going to stick with parents of infants and people that are interested in buying babies and children's products. Now, we can, at this point, we can either choose to target those audiences directly through this targeting option here, or we can just observe the behavior of those two audiences. Now, why do you want to do that? You may well pick the affinity groups that you're interested in and then just track their behavior over time and see which groups perform better for you, which ones actually convert better, and then go back and modify the campaign and just target the groups that perform best for you exclusively, or perhaps target the ones that perform best for you exclusively and spin up a new campaign with a new set of ads to target those people that don't perform so well. Okay. So we're actually, in this case, we're going to specifically target those groups. So someone else just came in. Who just came in? Emma. I've already got you marked off, Emma. No, I don't know. Right, so we're going to target those people and we're going to set a budget, $5 a day. I think the minimum budget is $1 a day for a campaign. So as I said, it doesn't have to cost a lot. We're going to use one of Google's machine learning bidding algorithms, and we're going to focus on conversions. What's a conversion? Could be sale, could be a phone call, could be a form filled in, could be visiting a page, it could be spending more than 30 seconds on a page. There's lots of different things that you can set up as a goal. Now, how do you set up the goals? You need to integrate your Google Ads account with Google Analytics. Okay, and if you don't know what Google Analytics is, go and look at the Polaris YouTube channel. There's a workshop there on getting started with Google Analytics. If that doesn't make any sense, then just send me an email or give me a call and I'll run you through it. We're not going to set a target cost. We're just going to focus on conversions. Right. So what we've done now is we've set up a budget. We've targeted an audience. What we're going to do now is start thinking about making our ads look a bit more interesting. Okay. Now, how do you make your ads look a bit more interesting? You can use these things called extensions. Now, the idea behind extensions is that if you provide a richer ad, and by richer ad, it's internet geek speak for more stuff. If you provide more stuff, richer content, more stuff for people to do, generally ads that have more stuff for people to do will have a better click-through rate than ads that are sort of more vanilla. The click-through rate is the percentage of people that see your ad that click on it. Because remember, that's always a challenge, is getting people to click on your ad rather than clicking on someone else's ad or going to the normal search results. How do you provide richer ads in Google? In Google Ads, you use these extensions. Now, the main extensions that most people will use are what's called site link extensions and telephone extensions. And on the right-hand side of this slide here, you can see an ad for Lubemobile. Now we've got the rating here. That's a Google Business extension where it goes away and grabs Lubemobile's reviews from their Google Business listing. So that's one type of extension. Then we've got these fixed price car service and logbook servicing links here. They're what's called site link extensions. So if people click on those, they'll be taken to those pages on the Lubemobile website. And then on a mobile device, we've got a telephone number here, and that's called a telephone extension. And that allows someone to dial you directly from your ad. And you'll get charged for that. That's counted as a click. So these are all ways of providing a richer ad to your market and ideally getting a better click-through rate. So we've set a budget, we've set a bidding strategy, which is based on conversions. We're going to set a schedule. I'll just show you that really quickly, what a schedule is, and then we're going to create some extensions. Show more settings, ad schedule. So by default, all Google ad campaigns are set to display 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why would you want to change the schedule? As I've already mentioned, I mentioned the dentist who shows different ads on the weekend because he's a 7-day dentist. I have run ads based on TV shows being on. So knowing that a certain event is coming up, I'll run ads through those things. I run ads for one of our software businesses. I only run those during office hours in the US, so I don't run them outside of those times, and I switch them off on public holidays and things like that. So there's all sorts of reasons to run schedules. The schedule is buried here under show more settings. We're just going to, at the moment, it's showing all days. You can configure a schedule every day of the week, multiple times a day if you want. For us, just for simplicity's sake, we're just going to stick it from Mondays to Fridays. So that's a weekday schedule. Just out of interest sake, out of the box, Google will rotate. Remember I talked about ad groups. An ad group is a group of ads. You can have effectively an infinite number of ads in an ad group. Google uses machine learning to try to display ads that perform best for you. So if you've got 10 ads, it will sort of start off showing all of the ads evenly, and then the ones that perform best in terms of conversions, it will start showing them more and more. And this is this ad rotation here, optimize, preferred, best performing ads. You can turn that off if you want. I'm not sure why you would. I would always leave it on because generally the algorithms are much faster reacting than what you can be. So I would leave that on. So we're going to go down and add some site link extensions, and site link extensions, if you think back to that Lubemobile ad, they had one for fixed price car service and logbook servicing. We're going to create some site link extensions for a portfolio page and an about us page. Now, you can have site link extensions account wide. You can create site link extensions that are available across every campaign in the account, or you can create them per campaign, okay? Now, if we look at this extensions here, you'll actually see these are extensions from our coin and banknote business. They're account wide. These ones here are ones that I created earlier for this particular business, but we'll actually create one ourselves here. So we'll just say, image gallery, image portfolio. Create image portfolio, and we'll put a fake link in there. And then we'll create another one for about us. You can have up to 4 of those. I'll just save that. And there's the 2 that we've chosen to add, and we can actually preview what they're going to look like. So that's what they're going to look like. Okay, and users will be able to click on those things when our ad is displayed, and they'll get a richer experience, and we'll get hopefully a better click-through rate. Call out extensions, these are the phone number extensions, and again, you can have a account-wide phone number that is available to every campaign within your account, or you can have different phone numbers per campaign. Now, in Australia, where phone tracking isn't as popular, it's probably not as applicable, but in America, tracking phone calls is a big thing. There's lots of services that allow you to do that. So this is why you would do it. If you're getting a phone call on a certain number, you know what ad campaign that's coming from. All right. We're going to just add one ourselves with a fake phone number. I'm going to create that one. What is that going to look like? It's going to look like that. Someone can directly call that number from their mobile phone. And we're going to save and continue. So what we have done at this point is we've actually created a campaign. We now have a campaign that is going to be visible within our account. What Google is trying to get us to do now is create our first ad group. And the first step of creating an ad group is to select keywords that you want to target. Now, I'm not going to do it from here. I'm going to show you a better way of doing it than doing it from directly within here. And I'd probably suggest that you do the same thing. So we're just going to hit the X and cancel out of this. And we'll go back to our list of campaigns. Right, so, oh, I can't spell campaign. Here's our workshop campaign that we have created. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pause it because I don't want to spend any money on this. So here's our workshop campaign. So now we need to populate our workshop campaign with some ad groups and some ads. Before we create an ad group, we're going to do some keyword research. So we'll just jump back to the slides. What is keyword research? That's basically researching what keywords we believe that people that are in a buying mood to purchase our product or service are going to plug into Google, and we want to be found. Now, the first thing to try to do is to think about ad groups as groups of thematically grouped keywords. So what does that mean? In the case of our baby photography, you might have an ad group that is newborn baby shoots. You might have a group that is family and baby shoots. You might have an ad group that is maternity shoots, okay, or toddler shoots. So you can see that these are all different search behaviors that people are going to have. Now, why do you want to split it up? It's because if I'm searching for a baby bump photo shoot, I don't want to see newborn baby ads. I want to see ads that are tailored to what I'm interested in. And this is how you need to situate yourself. You need to put yourself into the shoes of customers that are interested in your products and services and think about what they're plugging in. Think about what's going to interest them. And the only way you can do that is by creating ad groups that are centered around thematically grouped keywords. Okay. 5 to 20 keywords per ad group, just to keep it manageable. We're going to show you the process of selecting some keywords, and then we are going to show you what different ways of matching the keywords is. So we're going to jump back to our Google account here, and we're going to go up here to the Tools menu. And we've got this beautiful tool here called the Keyword Planner. What's the Keyword Planner? The Keyword Planner is a historical archive of keyword phrase search behavior over the last 12 months. So you can plug in keywords into this planner, and it will give you the amount of search traffic in a chosen location for that keyword phrase, plus a bunch of alternatives. So we talked about affinity groups. Google knows that someone who's interested in newborn photo shoots is also likely to be entering all these other alternate terms. It I mean, don't ask me how it knows, it just knows. So this is how we can leverage that. So we're going to discover new keywords. We're going to enter newborn photo shoot into the discover new keywords box here. Oop, wrong place, I'll put it there. We're going to leave our location in Australia. Now, for most businesses, I'd suggest leaving it in Australia because search traffic in Adelaide is a bit thin, that there isn't a whole lot of it. So that means that the results can be a little bit meaningless. If you keep it in Australia, then you get sort of a better quantity and quality of data. It doesn't mean your ads are going to be targeted across Australia. It just means that you're looking at the data a bit differently. We're going to get results. And this graph here gives us a map of the total search traffic and mobile search traffic for all these newborn photo shoot related terms. Here's our newborn photo shoot keyword here. It's averaged 720 searches a month across Australia for the last year. These are the bids that we are going to have to make to appear somewhere in those top 4 search results. Okay, so in the last 12 months, to appear at the top of the page, the first ad on the page, we would have had to have bid somewhere between 75 cents and $2.03 a click. When I look at those numbers, they're low. They're quite inexpensive. Some markets, you're talking $50 or $100 a click. All right, so I don't know what your markets are. I'd need to do some research, but this is how this is read. If we look down the page here, Google is giving us a whole bunch of other suggestions, okay? But what we're going to do is we are going to create a thematic group, all right? So that means that newborn baby boy photo shoot, no, because I'm thinking I want an ad group that is specifically for newborn baby boys. And then after that, I'm going to create another one for newborn baby girls, because then I can create ads that mention boys and girls and target those people's interests a bit better. And I can send the traffic from those ads to a landing page that's full of pictures of newborn baby girls, not sort of generic stuff. Okay, I can target my landing page a lot more effectively that way. So we're going to pick the gender neutral terms here. We'll pick a few of those. So we've got newborn photo shoot, newborn baby photo shoot, newborn shoot, newborn photo shoot near me, newborn baby shoot. Okay, so we've picked a few. We've got 5 selected. We're going to add them directly to our existing campaign. So there's our workshop campaign here. We're going to select that one. Now, we don't have an ad group at the moment. And what's an ad group? An ad group is a group of ads, and there's a set of keywords associated with an ad group. We're going to call our ad group something sensible. We're going to create a new ad group, and we're going to call it newborn photo shoot, because that's sort of the theme that we're going for the keywords in that group. Now, what's this matching here? We'll go through that in the next few slides. It is how tightly you want your keywords matched to people's real search behavior. Okay, do they have to type it in exactly? Or are you happy for just 1 or 2 words that they type in to match to one of your ads? That's the best way to look at it, okay? So we're actually going to pick, oh look, I've spelled newborn incorrectly. We're going to pick phrase match, and we'll talk about what phrase match is in a minute. And we're just going to add keywords. Right, and that's it. Okay, it has now taken those 5 keywords and associated them with our new ad group in our new campaign. So we're going to head back to our campaign. Here's our workshop campaign here. Just edit that so it's spelled correctly. So we now have our newborn, there we go. We're going to go and have a look at our keywords, and here's our keywords associated with that campaign. Okay, there's the 5 keywords that we picked. Now, you'll note that they've got quotes around them. That means that they are phrase matched. Now, what does matching mean? We'll just jump back to the presentation here. There's 4 levels of matching. The first one is broad match. And a broad match is a match where pretty much any search that contains one of the words in your match or a misspelling or a synonym could possibly trigger the display of your ad. Okay, so this is a really broad level of matching. It's going to bring you a lot of potential traffic, but it also means that that traffic isn't necessarily it isn't warm traffic. It isn't necessarily 100% suited to what it is that you're looking for. Okay, but why would you do that? Because it allows you to harvest a lot of information, a lot of traffic really quickly about what search phrases might be useful for you. Okay, so it starts off really broad, but it allows you to refine it because there are reporting tools in Google Ads that allow you to see what search phrases are performing best for you. So the example I've got there is bike shop, and that could potentially trigger off of any of those phrases there: motorbike store, cycle store, mountain bike shop, buy bike shorts, bike hire near me, bike equipment. Could also be carrying shopping on my bike, could trigger it as well. So we've got words that mean the same things. They're in different orders, and we can potentially trigger off of just one word in that bike shop. Okay. The next refinement of matching is what's called modified broad match. And you do this by putting a plus symbol in front of the words. What that means is that your ad will only be potentially triggered if all the words or misspellings or synonyms appear in the search query and the order doesn't matter. Okay, so in this case, we've got plus bike and plus shop. So bike repair shop could trigger the display of our ad. Shop for a bike could trigger it. Bicycle shop could trigger it. Store my electric bike could trigger it. All right, so store doesn't mean store in this case. It means how to, keep it somewhere. Secondhand bike shopping could trigger it. So this is called a modified broad match. Less traffic, okay, more control. You get probably warmer traffic. The third one is called a phrase match, and that's what we did before. So this is putting the twiddle around your phrase as you're matching. And that means that the phrase that you put in the quotes must be in the search query. The words must be in that order. But again, it allows for synonyms and misspellings. So in this case, we've got bike shop. So it means shop could be exchanged for store. Bike could be bicycle. It could possibly be motorbike. Oh, no, it won't be motorbike, but the thing to understand is that the words before and after your phrase can change the meaning, okay? So it will still display for motorbike shop because bike shop is in that query, even though it's motorbike. Bike shop near me, electric bike shop, secondhand bike shop. So you can see if we're a new bike shop, if we're selling new equipment, we don't necessarily want our ads to display for people that are searching for secondhand bikes. Okay, so while phrase matching gives us better qualified traffic, it still can give us traffic that we don't necessarily want. The finest degree of control comes through an exact match. And an exact match, I've put that in wrong there. Exact match should have square brackets around it rather than the quotes. And that means that this query must be exactly what your match is, or allowing for, again, synonyms and misspellings. Okay, so in this case, we've got bike shop, and that should be square brackets. we could match on bike shop, bike shops, bike store, or bicycle store. They're the sorts of things that we could match on. We couldn't match on bike shop in Adelaide or Adelaide bike shop. To match on those, we'd have to go back to our phrase match. So, you know, what does that mean? It means, oh, you know, I want exact match for everything, but you could be losing out. So sometimes it's best to have the broad match as well. There are things called negative keywords. Now they are keywords that you don't want to match on. So if we are a baby photographer, then we don't want to be searching, we don't want people that are looking for cameras for baby photo shoots. We don't want to be matching on searches that are people that are looking for lenses, people that are looking for props, maternity photo shoots, cheap photo shoots, free photo shoots, all this stuff that, you know, that people type in that we don't want our ads that we're going to get charged for. If people click on it, we don't want our ads displayed. In the case of our bike shop, if we're selling new bikes, second-hand, we want to get rid of that. We want to get rid of repair. We want to get rid of motor. All of these words that we don't want to trigger on. If we don't sell clothing, all the clothing keywords want to be in there as well. So we'll just create some negative keywords here. So just remembering what I've said now about phrase matching, you can see that these are phrase matched with the quotes around them. We can go in and edit them and make them an exact match by putting square brackets around. Okay, so now this ad could potentially display on an exact query of newborn baby photo shoot, or misspellings or synonyms. If we want to add the phrase match as well, we can add that as well. Now, why would you, hang on a second, what have I done there? Oh, there we go. Why would you want to have both? It's primarily an ad quality thing. If you want to have, in our case, newborn baby shoot Adelaide, and we put the phrase match in there to catch that, and that phrase will trigger the display of an ad. But if people are putting in newborn baby shoot directly, then having the exact match gives us a better ad quality because we're targeting those keywords more exactly. All right, that's why you'd want to do it. That's why you'd want to do it. We'll just create some negative keywords. So we've got search keywords here, and then below that we've got negative keywords. Now remember, we can have account-wide negative keywords. So that's really useful if, for example, this baby stuff, the baby photo shoot stuff, we may well have account-wide negative keywords for free and camera and lens and props, whereas for maternity, we may have another campaign that is specifically targeted at maternity photo shoots. So that wouldn't be an account-wide keyword, negative keyword. It would be a ad group negative keyword, because we would want only our maternity photo shoot ad group displaying when someone types in maternity. All right, I hope that makes sense. So we'll just create some negative keywords to just show you what that looks like. So there's some of those keywords that I mentioned before. And you can see here it's got add to campaign. Now that's just to this campaign. We can actually add them to the entire, we can add them to an ad group here. Well, there you go. That's new. We'll add them to our campaign. No, we won't. We'll add them to our ad group. And we'll select an ad group and we're going to choose our newborn photo shoot ad group. So now these are negative keywords for this ad group. So it means that any query that someone plugs in that includes any of those keywords will not trigger the display of one of these ads. That's that. So we've created some negative keywords. Negative keywords are, do the ones with no range mean they're not being searched? So which ones are they, Kat? Where was that? Do you want to just switch your microphone on and tell me where that was?
Yeah, that was a little ways back when we were originally looking at keywords, and it said that you'd have to bid between like 75 cents and $2. There were
Yeah,
several that didn't have any.
means that no one's bidding on them.
Okay, so it means
Mm.
they're not necessarily being searched or just not that
Not
popular.
not being bid on. That's what it means. Okay, it means that they're not present in anyone's ad account in the last 12 months for them to have a significant amount of data to tell you what the top of page bidding range was. Now, why is that? A number of reasons. One is that perhaps the keyword is rubbish and doesn't convert and no one uses it, or perhaps it's an opportunity for someone. Okay, because for some markets, Google Ads aren't being used. All right, and I'll freely admit that in the market that we're in our coin shop here in Adelaide, it's a real boon for us because no one's using it. It's an easy win for us. Whereas our software business is ridiculously competitive in Google Ads, ridiculously competitive to the point where we can't use Google search ads anymore. It's just a waste of money, okay, because the bids are so high. So perhaps it's an opportunity for someone when there's no range.
So it could be worth trying just to see if it converts, and you may not even have to pay for it.
You have to pay something. There is a minimum bid amount that you have to pay. I don't know what it is at the moment. It used to be 5 cents. I don't know what it is now, but given if you're the only person bidding on that keyword and there is some search volume, then you will pay the minimum bid, whatever that is, 5 or 10 cents. All right. So we'll just jump back to the ad group. And here's our newborn photo shoot ad group here, and we'll look at our ads, and we can see at the moment that we don't have any ads. So there are really 2 types of ads that you can create in the Google Search Network, okay? And they're what's called text ads and responsive search ads. Now, really, the only assets that you need to create for your ads are some text. That's it. There's no need to create graphics or videos or anything like that. They are pure text ads. So what's a text ad? A text ad is up to 3 headlines, and they can be up to 90 characters, 2 descriptions, which can be up to 90 characters. And for text ads, Google doesn't choose the best headlines or the best descriptions. It just displays what will fit on the device that's displaying that ad. Okay, and you can only have 4 variations per ad. And how it determines what it displays, as I said, is dependent on whether it's on one of these or a computer or a tablet or whatever the resolution of the screen is. A responsive search ad is different. You can put in up to 15 headlines, and then Google can choose to display 2 or 3 of those. And how it chooses them is, again, done by machine learning. It will tend to pick the ones that convert better. Perhaps they have better click-through rate, but in our case, our bidding strategy was based on conversions. It'll tend to pick the ones that convert better for us. Okay, so responsive search ads are a really neat thing because you get to leverage off of Google's algorithms that pick the right stuff for you. 15 headlines, up to 4 descriptions. It's automatically optimized, and each ad has that many potential variations. So responsive search ads are a super powerful thing that have only been available for the last couple of years. So here's some basic copywriting tips. I keep saying this, put yourself into the buyer's mind. Think about what makes you unique. Be salesy. So promote your prices, promote whatever your current sales promotion is, exclusive offers, free shipping, shipping Australia-wide, introductory offers, trials, 30-day money-back guarantee, free 30-minute consult, promote all those things. Have a call to action. What's a call to action? Asking people to do something. Contact us, ring us, visit our website, buy now, whatever that happens to be. Include the keyword. Newborn baby shoot, make sure newborn baby photo shoot is in the ad somewhere, whether it be in the titles, in one of the headlines, or whether it be in the body. And think about including extensions that appeal to mobile users. Okay, for a lot of industries, 90% of search traffic comes from these. So include those rich snippets and the phone numbers. Writing effective ads. So there's some stuff that I have lifted off of WordStream. WordStream is an ads management, a Google Ads management tool. They did research on 200 and something 100,000 ads about what keywords appear most in the ads that convert best for them, for people that are using their tools. Your, free, get, our, save, shipping. The keyword in your call to action that works best according to them is get. Ads that have a positive sentiment tend to do better than ones that had a negative sentiment. So if something that you do saves people energy, talk about saving energy in the future or saving energy now. Don't focus on the losses in the past. Exclamation marks work. Surprise, surprise, they work. The most effective ads only included keywords a maximum of 2 times, up to a maximum of 2 times. So no baby photo shoot in 5 different locations. Easy to read, about a year 8 or year 9 reading level. So keep it simple. And they generally didn't include many numerals. Okay. So this is the text ad that we're going to create. This is what the ad interface looks like. We'll just go through and plug all this in really quickly so you can see what it looks like. We'll just jump over to we're going to click the plus button here to create an ad. We're going to create a text ad. And you can see here, this is what that screenshot looked like. We're going to put a final URL. Now the final URL is the landing page where you send people. And we're going to create a headline. So, you know, what's our point of difference? We're a newborn photography specialist, and our key offering is that our packages are just $199. Don't be scared to put prices in ads. I think that it makes people happier that you're being transparent. We're going to create 2 description lines, remembering that we want to keep our stop from stuffing our keywords into there, and we're also putting a point of difference in there. We're asking people to get our introductory offer now. The display path here is a slightly more effective way of getting your keyword into the ad. So you can see I just put newborn at the end there, and then the ad here displays newborn. It doesn't mean that traffic is going to go to that page. It just means that it displays slightly differently. Okay, so you know, if I was running an ad about newborn girls, then I would put girls at the end there, and it just shows my keywords a little bit better. So the ad is a bit more relevant to what people are interested in. We're going to get rid of that. We don't want that. And really that's it. That's all we need to do to create our first ad. This is what the ad is going to look like on a mobile device. You can see we've got our call extension at the bottom here, and you can see we've got our site link snippets here as well. So we've got a rich ad to display to people that they can interact with and learn more about us. And then we've got a phone number so that they can just ring us directly from their device. Super easy for them to contact us. This is what it looks like on a computer. Looks slightly different. It's always worth previewing both and making sure that everything looks okay. Don't overuse capitalization. Your ad will get rejected. Every ad that you create goes through an approval process. If you put in certain trademarks or overcapitalize or put in certain terms that Google doesn't like in ads, and the ad will get rejected. How long does it take for an ad to... can I drop the WordStream link in the chat? Yeah, sure thing, Kat. I'll do that in a minute. Takes about anywhere from 30 minutes to 6 hours for an ad to get approved. Okay, so that's it. We've now created that text ad. And if we go back to our ad group, then where did my ad go? Ah, my ad disappeared. Bugger. I won't create that again. What we'll do is we'll actually go and create the responsive ad. Actually really disappointed. I wonder where that's gone. Anyway, responsive search ad. The interface looks very similar to the creating a normal text ad, except we've got up to 14 headlines here. Now, why do you have up to 14 headlines? Because Google will pick the best 2 or 3 that convert the best. It'll cycle them around. That's just all the highlighting an ad does is makes it obvious in the preview what your ad is and what isn't your ad. Okay, it doesn't actually affect the display of the ad when the ad's alive. It's just an interface thing when you're creating the ad in the editor. That's all it is. All right, Kat? No, it's not a feature. Again, it's just it's a feature of the preview in here so that you can see what parts of your ad are actually your ad. It's not in the live ads when they're published itself. It's just in here when you're using this editor. All right, that's all it is. It's like, I don't know, it's like shining a spotlight on it so that you can see it a bit easier. We can have up to 14 headlines in here. Now, the key with these responsive search ads is to have 14 distinct headlines. Don't just make them variations of each other. That's actually really tough. It's really hard to do that, but you kind of get the hang of it after a while. Google will try to get you to use what are popular keywords that work well in ads, and there's a list of them there: easy, book, sign up, get, delivery, returns policy, X% off, deals, available now, huge range, hundreds of options, hassle-free, all of these sorts of things that Google knows perform well in ads. And it's a great idea to pick these keywords here, and you'll see that you'll get prompted with a lot of these, and try and craft a distinct headline around each one and give Google some meat, something to sink its teeth into as it's cycling through your headlines, as it's trying to create your ads. Okay, so we'll just jump back to the Google ad account here. And we'll create an ad quickly here, just conscious of the time. Here's our final URL. We're going to paste some headlines in here. And you'll actually see on the right-hand side of this ad interface that Google is giving me tips about what to do, about new headlines to create, about new keywords to create. And if you're just getting started with this stuff, read what it says, because you will be able to craft your headlines in a fashion that Google has found to be efficient. Okay. Now, I love these responsive ads. I think they're fantastic because it means that you don't have to create 20 different ad variations and trial each one. Google kind of does it live. Okay. Yeah, look, Deborah, you can watch the video and pause it as you like, and then just follow this through step by step. All right. I'm going to create some descriptions. We can see we've got text limits there on how long our headlines can be. You can see I've tried to create headlines that are quite distinct. They're not just sort of slight variations. If they're just slight variations, then Google will struggle to combine 2 or 3 headlines to produce an effective ad. You can see here on the ad simulator here that we are seeing different combinations of headlines that it could potentially show. The reports for the ads will actually tell you what headlines have performed best and what ones are displaying more often. Okay, so we're just going to save that ad. Okay, so excessive capitalization. Ugh. So I wonder what one it doesn't like. Probably that. This is what I was saying about how how it doesn't like excessive capitalization and things like that. So there you go, there's our ad. So now we've actually created our first ad, and if I was to go back to the campaign and unpause it, then we would actually start displaying ads on the Google Ad Network. They would start appearing almost immediately. Okay, so hopefully that process has shown you how to create that first ad. And that for me is the hardest part, is creating that first ad, because the interface is a bit hard to use. You can see I struggled finding things a couple of times then. What do you do once you've created your ads? Well, that's when you actually need to start monitoring and optimizing your account. There are reports in there that, for example, show you what keyword phrases people are typing in that have clicked your ads, and what ones have converted well and what ones have converted poorly. So I'll give you an example of our little ad campaign that we're doing here for our coin shop. If we go and run to our keyword section and then search terms, and I'll just change the date range. Sorry if I'm going a bit quickly here. We'll just change the date range to all of September. Now, if I look down this list here, these are the search terms that people have typed in that have triggered the display of our ads. I was looking down here a couple of days ago, and I saw that there were a number of searches in here that were not relevant to what we were trying to target. Okay, so here's one here, for example, IS Right Adelaide, where to sell coins in Melbourne. Now, we're not in Melbourne. Okay, so I went instantly and added a Melbourne negative keyword to this campaign. Okay, so I try to look at this report once a month and go through and create negative keywords on things that don't work. But it's not all negative. There are positives to take out of it. I use this as well to look at search terms to either enhance my keyword matching or to create new ad groups based on what people have searched for. I read a really interesting statistic that 40% of Google searches have never been done before. So there's always new stuff being done on Google. Okay, so 40% of new searches have never been done before. It's an amazing statistic. All right. Oh, where's my presentation gone? Right. So disable poorly performing ads. We talked about Google automatically cycling through ads and only displaying the best performing ones. If you know something's not performing, you can go and disable them and then create variations on the ones that are performing better. Add negative keywords for poorly performing matches. So I just showed you how I do that. Enhance keyword matching. If I see phrases that are being searched for repeatedly, then I will create better matches for those to improve my ad quality. If I'm seeing a whole new theme of ads popping up or searches popping up, then I'll actually create a new ad group specifically targeted at those searches. And this is how my ad account evolves over time. And everyone's ad account should be the same. It's not just to switch it on and forget it type of thing. So that's it. I'll just stop the share. So there'll be, I think, one more Google ad workshop after this, which is more of a reporting and monitoring type thing. I'm not sure when that'll happen, but go and follow Polaris Centre on Facebook to get notified about when that happens. If you want some advice on Google Ads, just give me a call and I'm happy to talk to anyone on the phone. You can come in here and talk to me for half an hour as well, and we can run through some basics of this sort of stuff. We do run other workshops that can be applicable for this. So we're doing a WordPress one next week, which is about landing pages. So if you've got a WordPress site and you want to understand the basics of setting up a landing page in WordPress, that might be worth looking at. And there are also lots of online resources from Google. So Google Skillshop and Google Ads certification, both of which are great for sort of teaching you the basics of Google Ads. Okay, and they're really well worth doing. So does anyone have any questions? Feel free to turn on your microphone and speak up. Can you have the WordStream link? Yep, just hang on a second, I'll get it for you.
I'm sorry, the someone was talking to me. So that last thing that you were talking about, being able to get in on the other workshops and things,
Mhm.
is that stuff that you're saying is recorded?
Yeah, so
Contacting.
there's recorded stuff on our YouTube channel. So the more basic Google Ads workshop is on our YouTube channel. There's some repetition over what we covered today, and it's sort of more about the background of Google Ads and, you know, why you might want to use it and the technology behind it, rather than the mechanics of actually creating an ad like we did today. If you like, I can just give you our YouTube channel, and you can see it there. Maybe if I can work it out. I'll just give you the link to the other Google Ads video. Except that we haven't recorded it before. Oh yes, I remember we had network problems last time, so we haven't recorded it before. But if you would like, I'll forward you the presentation notes for that when I forward you the notes for this one.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I can do that. Does anyone else have any questions? No? All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
A bit much
Oh,
slower.
go on, Jill. What was that?
No, it was me. I just said we just need to go through it much slower from
Yeah,
start.
there's kind of no getting around the fact that it's a dense interface, and you need to. That's no worries, Lana. Thank you, Jill. Thanks for taking part. There's no getting around that. Unfortunately, it does just take time to understand where to move the mouse and things like that. And I kind of make it look easy, but if I go much slower, I don't get through much. I was even rushed today just to create a campaign and one ad group and 2 ads.
Well, that's where the video will come in handy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we missed the first few minutes, but that'll have to do for now until we do this one again. All right.
I
Thank
mean,
you very much.
sorry, it's Anna here. I was trying
Hello.
to speak to you before I muted my speaker, so I think hopefully you can hear me now.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, will we all get the like this course notes from today? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be till next Monday though, Anna, because
That's all right. That's okay.
I'm only at Polaris on Mondays and Tuesdays.
That's all right.
So, and I've got to wait for the video to render and before I can upload it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. Just
No
so it'd be
worries.
easier once we've got the notes. We might be able to go through it on
Yeah.
our own. So.
I've got to say, Anna, that your sort of business is ideally suited to Google Ads.
Yes. I've actually had someone professionally been doing it for us, but it's quite expensive. So I want to get away from that so I can do it myself.
Yeah. Well, if they've got an account set up for you, it's probably like consultants are really good for this sort of stuff. They can get up an account up and running really quickly. But at some point, it's always good if you can take it over and understand what it is that it's doing and how it's working, and save yourself that management fee if you've got the capability to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, it doesn't look that hard, but hey, give it a go.
Famous last words.
Yes, exactly right.
Famous last words.
Thank you.
That's all right, Anna. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yep.
Has anyone else got anything?
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for taking part, and please go and follow the Polaris Facebook page if you enjoyed today's presentation. We're always looking for reviews and feedback on our Facebook page or our Google Business Listing. Thanks for taking part, and I hope to see you all again. It's good to see the people that I've seen before, and I hope to see you all again next week or in the upcoming weeks when we're doing more workshops. Okay. Bye, everyone.